Hi mate, are you trying to deal with an injury or issue, but every time you get over it, it seems to always return? Well, today I'm going to show you something that I call the nail it approach, which I use to help my clients get back into the gym and stop an injury from ever returning. Let's check it out. Hi mate, my name's Adam from Adam Movement Therapy and I help you return to the gym and stay there. So we're talking about the nail it approach, okay? So there's lots of different, spins on this particular way to rehab people. But the main thing is a lot of people go into rehab and they just focus on the pain side of things. And they think that when they get out of pain, they can just go straight back to doing what they used to do, whether that's lifting heavy weights, picking up their kids, returning to work, or returning to sitting at a desk all day and not really make any real changes to, how they move, their lifestyle, their diet, or how they do things in the gym. This is mainly focused on people that probably, they get out of pain, they return to the gym and the pain or injury just seems to keep on returning for them. So the biggest reason why I feel like this does happen is it's due to something called the movement gap. So what happens in the movement gap is you start at pain at the top there, you get out of pain, you get to no pain, and then you skip a step, but then you return to the gym and training, and then shortly after, maybe a couple months or a week later, you end up back in that pain cycle and you keep on going round and round and round this pain cycle and you never really get 100% over an injury. Don't get yourself down if you're stuck in this pain cycle, because I, for one, was stuck in this pain cycle for many years. I'd go in and out of physiotherapy offices, massage, get chiro, and all these treatments that help you to get out of pain. But then I'd return straight to the gym and all my pain or injuries would return, or what would happen is, if I had something in my shoulder, I'd come up with a new injury in my lower back. So I wasn't really dealing with my whole body. I was really, just dealing with the pain and just dealing with the shoulder specifically and not really looking at anything else in my body. So the thing is, where I was seeing the physio, I was seeing the massage therapist and, physio, chiropractors and stuff like that. These therapies are all well and great. I'm not going to bag them. I'm not going to say that chiropractors are quacks or, physios, you don't waste your money on physios, because they do work. The thing is, there's two different kinds of therapies. There is, you've got your passive therapy, and then you've got your active therapy. So the problem is with you going to the physio and chiro and whatnot, is they're mainly just giving you passive therapy. That's their thing. They're really good at that sort of thing. Also, what falls into passive therapy would be, I would even say, foam rolling, for example, or even taking a tablet, taking painkillers. These are all therapies that are very passive to our body. We don't have to make any changes in our lifestyle or do anything. All we do is we go there, it gets done for us. We lie on a table, we don't do anything. It's left up to allied health professionals. It's left up to the pill that we take. It's left up to the gel we put on, or left up to the wheat bag we put on our body. All we're dealing with most of the time is just dealing with the symptoms, which is the pain, okay? So what needs to be done is we need to get a mix of the passive therapy, but also round it off with something that's more active therapy. So that means making our lifestyle changes, change the way we sit, move more, and also focus on how we're doing those things, how we're moving, okay? And the way I like to do that with my clients is use something called the nail it approach. What does nail it stand for? Well, it's NAIL, okay? So first thing is normalize our body. We've got activate, integrate, and then load, okay? So normalization is basically making your body feel normal, making it feel good, because a normal body shouldn't feel like it's in pain, okay? Pain stops us from doing what we love to do. It stops us from lifting. It's a signal from your brain telling your body that something isn't right. I'm gonna go into protection mode. I'm not gonna let you make that mistake again or go any further. So if we try to go into the gym, but we're in pain, our body's gonna be in that protection mode, and it's gonna stop us from doing the things we like by doing the bench press, by giving us something called a pain signal. So the first thing, normalization, that's focusing on more the passive therapy. So you can get this done by, a trigger ball or foam roller, or you can see your physio, chiropractor and whatnot, because they will help with dampening the pain response or pain signal, getting your body to relax, turn up the parasympathetic part of your body rather than the sympathetic. So sympathetic is your fight or flight, whereas your parasympathetic is that rest and digest, okay? So when you're in the gym, you don't really want to be in fight or flight mode per se. Well, you don't want to be in it so much that your body's going to send you a pain signal to get out of there, okay? So once we've got you out of pain, whether that might be temporarily, because a lot of the passive treatments are just temporary, we've got to run through the rest of the process before so that we can keep the pain away or even keep your body more mobile and more stable, okay? So the rest of it is the second one, which is activate, okay? Usually when you're in pain or you've got a certain issue or you're a little bit immobile, certain muscles are going to be overacting and certain muscles are going to be underacting. Okay, so we've got to look at normalization is probably more at releasing those muscles that are overactive, and then activate is turning up is getting those muscles that are a little bit sleepy or underactive and getting those working the way they're supposed to be. So a lot of that you might hear, someone might say, oh, you've got weak glutes or something. Yes, you may have weak glutes, kind of, but usually the problem isn't that they're weak, it's just that they're not activating as much as they should, okay? Once we've got those lagging muscles activated and ready to go, we're going to integrate them into a movement that is a bit more meaningful to your body. So activation, thinking more like it's real isolating. So it's really just trying to get a single muscle working. Might be, just get your lat working, just get your glute working. For instance, if we're activating your glutes, we've got them fired up, your body's a bit more aware of it, you can feel your glutes working, then we put them into a movement that you might do every day or a movement that you want to do in the gym. For instance, that might be doing a Romanian deadlift or doing a conventional deadlift. It teaches that glute to interact with the rest of your muscles because your body doesn't move in isolation. Nothing moves in isolation with your body. What we need to do is once we've got that glute working, we need to get it talking to those other muscles. And a great way to do that is to put you in something like a squat or a hip hinge or even a lunge pattern, okay? Then what happens is your glute gets to know those other muscles. It knows how to integrate with those muscles. So then when you go for a walk or you go back into the gym, your body remembers the therapy that we've done on it, okay? It knows that we've reintegrated it into there. We haven't just done, got rid of the pain and then just left it at that. Okay, we've kind of rounded it off, putting you in a more real life situation, okay, which leads to the next step, okay? Then we need to start looking at challenging your body. So we might look at that hip hinge pattern or deadlift pattern or squat, and then start to load that pattern and challenge it, okay? That's where we start to build resilience in your normal day-to-day life, or build resilience in the gym. So then when you go back into the gym, you try to lift something heavy, you don't fall into any compromising positions that may or may not give you pain in the future. So we may load your squat so that we can test your body's mechanics to see if you actually own that movement, okay? Because we can go through the normalize, activate and integrate approach. And these are very bit more neural heavy. But then once we start to challenge your whole body at a bit of weight, we've actually got to build strength and push a heavy weight. If you can't hold good movement in a heavy position, then we haven't completed the full rehab process. And this makes a lot of sense if we just do the normalized approach or we go for the more passive approach. So we can go get a trigger ball or a foam roll, a certain section, we get out of pain, we feel fantastic, but if we're not treating the actual cause, why the pain got there in the first place, we return to the gym, we start doing certain things in a way that we haven't changed anything that have probably caused the injury or pain in the first place, we end up going back in that pain cycle again. The ideal with the Nail It approach is to focus on getting rid of the pain and then fixing the rest of those issues actively so that you make certain changes so that you don't have to worry about that injury or pain coming back in the future. So let's say, for example, we've got someone with lower back pain. I'd use the nail it approach. So we'd start with normalizing the body. So I just want to get rid of that back pain so that they feel good and we can do the rest of the process. So for instance, we might roll out the hip flexors and see if that gives them any relief from the back pain. If it does, yes, awesome. All right, we skip to the next step to activate. So when we go into activate, we have to work out why they might have back pain in the first place. Maybe for this person, they might have anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so we're going to work on some glute activation work with a neutral spine. So we work on that, activating those glutes, have the glutes, get them working nice and easy so they can feel their glutes working. Then we move on to the next step. So we've activated those glutes, then we've got to integrate it into a pattern that's going to be useful for them. So that might be a hip hinge pattern. So when we get them to focus on that, get them in a nice hip hinge pattern, get it all to integrate together. Once they've got that down really well, then we can start to load it and teach them how to do a deadlift correctly. So then we throw them into a deadlift and slowly start to add up the weight. It ingrains it into their body to activate their glutes and do a good hip hinge pattern. This is so critical. If we skip these steps, then you'll go back to the gym and there's really no change been happened. The only change that's happened is that you've got out of pain and then returned to the gym and nothing else. So what the Nail It approach can do for you is it offers a complete rehab process. And you can do this yourself. You don't have to follow exactly how I do things. And a more combined approach might be going to see a physio and chiropractor, but then also seeing a personal trainer to work on your fitness and how you're doing certain things in the gym. Having those both working in tandem can really help you out with getting over the injury quicker and keeping that injury away in the near future. And it also is, if you're working with a personal trainer that's going to help you with your movement side of things, you're also going to increase your performance too. So it's not also just about preventing injury, but by doing these certain things, you're going to increase your performance, get more mobility, get more stability in your body, which is a precursor for lifting heavier things or moving quicker in your chosen sport. Anyway, I hope this really helped you out, this video. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe for more great content from me. I've got a special little guide for you. If you keep going in and out of the gym, you get out of pain, you go back to the gym, pain returns, I've got a special little guide called the 7 Lifts to Bulletproof Your Body After Injury. It really focuses on that active approach to getting over your injury. In other words, getting that technique correct, right? So there's a much lesser chance of having an injury coming back in the first place. I'll drop that in the description box below so you can download that right away. My name's Adam and I help you return to the gym and stay there.